What?
What?
What just happened?
What happened? Why do I feel so happy?
Right.
It's disgusting. What is this shit? Empathy? Ugh.
Welcome to my human design experiment. Hello, friends on YouTube,
Hi.
friend via podcast. I guess there's only one of you at a time. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm Mac. This is Mystical Mac. I'm back with Adyr Villavicencio.
Hi, I'm Adyr Villavicencio.
He's going to be gracing us with yet another astrology episode. We're going to be talking about this lunar cycle. We talked about the beginning of, or rather, we talked about the last lunar cycle at the beginning of it, in the new moon.
Yep.
We are upon another new moon. When you are watching / listening, it will already have happened on Friday. So let's hear all about this lunar cycle, what it's bringing. And by the way, we have a big cosmic event that happens annually coming up
Hell yeah.
called the Lion's Gate. And what did you say, Adyr? It's not the production company.
Oh yeah. It's the Lionsgate. Don't get it confused with the movie makers.
So we're going to get into all of that this episode. But first, we're going to get into a grounded space. So let's take a deep inhale all together. Exhale. You're going to do it again. Breathe deep to the bottom of your belly. Let it fill your lungs and exhale. Last one. We're going to do biggest inhale yet, and we're going to exhale with an open mouth. Like a lion. Yay. Without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome back, Adyr.
Thank you for having me again.
Yay.
Mac. I love me some Mac. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. So, the Lion's Gate. So, Lion's Gate, that is a portal that opens up a lot of stuff into action. Action, creativity, what you need to do if you want to start manifesting. You go best time on the Lion's Gate. What better time, which is Leo season right now, which is the heart, which is fun, which is
Fire.
The lion. It's fire. What excites you? And according to that, which is also funny, the sun card. Now, if you look at the sun card in a tarot card, it is the sun, a child, naked, riding a horse in the middle of town. What does that description tell you? Fun. Happiness. Joy. That's what it is. So, basically, the Lion's Gate is that. Top it off, it's in lion season. And then you have it 8/8, which is normal, which comes in every year. However, I did get confused for a minute. I was like, oh, last year was the 7th.
I think we need to back it up. So 8/8, he means that it happens on August 8th every single year. So literally 8/8 as far as the date goes. But yeah, you thought it happened on the 7th. And I was like, wait a second. It tends to happen on 8/8 every year. That's how we know that it's going to happen. But there is a fun little thing that is occurring in this Lion's Gate. And I think that's what you were about to mention.
Hell yeah. So the fun part about it is basically it's new moon coming, and it's going to be in Leo.
So we have a Lion's Gate in Leo.
So you got Lion's Gate, lion season, new moon in Leo. It's a lot of fire.
Wait, what's it called? We got a whole pride. A pride of lions.
Yeah, you got a pride of energy. Tons of fire energy. And now, especially because the new moon is in Leo, I think it hasn't happened in, about 700 years.
No.
Since there was a new moon in Leo on the Lion's Gate.
On the Lion's Gate. Oh.
I think so. We'll have to look it up. I think it was.
To be determined, friends. Next time we'll come back and we'll
TBD. Because that just goes, it just mind blasted me right now with this information. And I think it was a religious figure that explained it 700 years ago. Man, look at me with this encyclopedia that's opening. Hello, Dewey Decimal.
I see your third eye chakra just kind of pulsing right now. Your pineal gland is very soft and receptive.
You know, for a long time I thought it was pineal gland.
For those of you who are unaware, your pineal gland is
right here.
It's connected to your third eye chakra, and it's essentially this little gland, and its only job is to sort of receive information. And then I do believe that it has something to do with hormone regulations as well. Not to be confused with your pituitary, which has to do with puberty.
It also helps with releasing of DMT, which lets people see the face of God or goddess.
Yes.
See that? Bing. She said, "What's up? What's up?" Hecate's with me. High five. Yeah. So let's go back to it. Okay. Right now is a perfect time for you to plant your seeds. So as soon as the lion gate starts, get your parchment paper, get your dragon's blood. That's what I do. I hunt dragons and I drain their blood and I write it down. I use it for ink. No, it's just an ink we call dragon's blood. And basically what we do is you write your intentions, what you want, your manifestations. You do everything you need to do, all your hopes, your desires. It doesn't matter. Okay, so don't think you're selfish and be like, oh, I'm just too scared to ask for money. Ask for the fucking money. Okay? Ask for the money. Or if you feel that sounds selfish, align myself with the flow of money. Align myself with the energy of love. Align myself with all this. You have this opportunity right now with a Lion's Gate to do it. However, be sure not to be all uppity, because we still have Jupiter in retrograde, and then we still have Saturn. Well, dude, how many retrogrades are there?
Oh, there are a lot
5.
right now, but I don't know how many exactly.
Like the outer planets, right now Uranus starts, I think, in the end of... Uranus is going to be in Taurus. It's going to start at the end of August, which is a retrograde.
Okay.
So within this time right now, just be warned, there's going to be a lot of juju in the air where everything's backtracking because you have Saturn, you have Jupiter. Jupiter is going all the way till October, I think.
Wow.
Only even to next year. It's a slower one. And it's in Aquarius. And you have Saturn moving into Aquarius. So there's a lot of Aquarius energy also coming in right now in Leo season. So here's the story. Aquarius, the water bear, spraying the garden. Leo, the lion, the cat that's fucking up the leaves. So they're like this. She's like, get out of my garden. You're messing the plants up. This isn't catnip. And the cat's like freaking out because it's getting wet. So they tend to like do this a lot. However, it's perfect time for them to finally just agree to disagree, where when you're in Leo season right now, especially through this Lion's Gate, and you're especially through this new moon, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm ready to take on the world. Here comes Aquarius. Whoa. Let's find out how to make this energy for the better good. So there's going to be a good little balance from a 10 to a 5, rather than when Aquarius usually goes 10 to a 2B, 10 to a 2, or vice versa. So get your shit going. Get your paper. Look, I have parchment paper. I go get them at a specialty shop. But if you want, get yourself some regular paper, toilet paper. Who fucking cares? Write it down. Write what you need. Light your little candle. Say your prayer to whatever deity you believe in. Whoever. Ask what you want. Ask the universe what you want to align yourself with. Because right now is your opportunity to put it in that portal and have it grow, because this is an energy of action. Action.
But highly influenced by the wisdom, it sounds like, of our water bearer Aquarius. So I feel like it's important to say, with that energy in mind, if you ensure that when you act, are you acting from authenticity or are you acting from a deterministic impulse? Is that something that we want to be mindful of, or are these energies kind of just going to pull us in that direction regardless?
Okay, look, I'm going to keep it real on how I believe in spirituality and how I do it. Ask however you want. It's going to be up to your higher power or the energies to say, okay, we'll give it a shot. Let's see if this person can handle it. If you can't handle it, boop, 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 boop. Learn, do your step work, do whatever thing you need to do, handle it, and then maybe come back around the next year and see if you can redo it. Because right now you have opportunities with it. So I'm not saying like I want somebody to be dead. That's not going to happen. You got to do that on your own. Get yourself a knife, get yourself a gun, and then, go to jail. But if you want to say, I want to win the lottery, well, the universe will be like, buy a fucking ticket. And probably it'll show you signs. You'll see signs, or you hear a commercial, the California State Lottery, or, an old ticket on the floor. It's not going to give it to you, but it's going to give you the opportunity to remind you to play. And you could win. I want that job. Okay. Well, we'll get you the interview. It's up to you to get the job.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it's any type of manifestation. Whatever you ask for, the door is going to open. And it's up to you if you want to go in and out.
Okay, so I guess it sounds to me like the wisdom's going to come in and sort of like being aware for those signs and being aware of those things, right? Yeah. I feel like it's important to mention too, because like I feel like a lot of people don't fully get the retrograde thing, in the sense that like, not that they don't understand it, but a lot of us don't really hear about other planets in retrograde. Most of us hear about Mercury in retrograde because it happens so often, and it tends to mess with so much crap if you have been exposed to Mercury retrograde as a concept and an idea. You gotta, and you have paid attention to what actually happens during this time. I mean, your technology starts to fake out for some reason or no reason. Random people will come back into your life, all that junk. So I guess I want to stress, right, when something's in retrograde, it seems like the planet's moving backwards, which essentially means to slow things down and kind of take reflection time, right? So if so many planets are in retrograde, that means this is a massive time for reflection as well as to take action. So I guess what I meant is like, don't be taking action from the brain that you had a year ago. Yep. Figure out what your mind, body, soul is like now, and kind of go from there. Yes, you're very correct on that. But however, right now, what's going on because of all the new moon and all these planets, so it's kind of going to put these people in three categories, almost like one who will ascend, those who want to just stay where they are, and those who will be living on hope, I guess. What does that mean? Like hope for like kind of figuring out. Okay, so the middle point. The middle point. The one like that, I don't want to stay here, but I don't know how to fully get exactly there. I'll get my feet wet and then go, oh, it's kind of warm. All right, I can sit in there. Or basically like, I hope it works. Let's find out. Let's do something about it. So it's going to be a lot of that going on right now. But with all the retrogrades at the same time, it's like the world will be going backwards, like back-checking, for example. The variant that's going on. We're kind of going backwards again with these new rules like masks and all this stuff. Political stuff, especially with Uranus coming around right now. That one tends to commonly bring a lot of like sometimes disasters, not saying we're going to have an earthquake, but it'll bubble up the world. The world will be jolty. Yeah, disasters, wildfires, volcanic, the floods. A lot of stuff are coming up right now. Also political. For example, last year's, protesting that was going on. I mean, dude, the attack on the abortion laws. Yeah. Or rather the resurgence of those things attempting to get taken back or what, like, no, and then you have Uranus in loyalty in Taurus, which is very loyal. It's a loyal sign who believes in loyalty and truth and honesty and being grounded. With Uranus, which is the humanitarian planet, the eccentric planet, the electronic planet, technology. It's all this like basically politics. Aquarius is ruled by it, so it has that
those two going together. So when it comes around this time, you don't be freaked out if you go, oh, we had an earthquake or, a flood or there's another protest. It's something can happen.
I mean, just think about, this is like, I don't know if you heard, but there were 215, trigger warning, friends, this is not fun news, children's bodies found buried in this place in Canada, and it's believed to have been essentially like a mass grave for like Indigenous children that were forced to go to those you're fine, that were forced to go. We have an explicit. This is explicit if you didn't know. Like, hold on, you're fine. But like, real talk, there was like a mass grave that was found of 215 children. This happened, I think, a month or so ago. And these were, Indigenous kids that essentially had been forced to go to these Christian colonization schools, essentially. And I mean, that set off a whole thing because that can't be the only mass grave, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I can think of right now, whether it's local to the U.S. or, even on international levels, that definitely lines up. And then... And then
everywhere right now.
I feel like I always drop stuff when I'm really spiritually charged. It's like my body's like
my body,
can't function.
My body does the same when I get spiritual. Sometimes I get like, even my voice sometimes changes. It's like, what did you say? Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Just turn into this to one of your spirit guys you don't even know. But like, just thinking about like all the floods, like, so this is like mass, macro level stuff, guys, but think about like micro level stuff. Where in your life is shit getting uprooted or maybe just really going incredibly wrong so that it can go right, kind of thing, if given the right reconstruction? How many of you are actually being forced to look at crap that you thought you could avoid for the rest of your lives, right? I think things like that.
This is a good time also for, uprooting things and revelations right now. Tons of revelations would be possibly happening if you choose to do a lot of self-care. And if you're not ready for it, get ready. Because it's going to happen. And
you can, I want to say this too, because we talked about the three different groups of people. And I just want to, because, the people who are like, let's ascend, let us go, and then the people who are like, okay, like, I could flow along with this, little resistance here and there, but flowing along. Those two, like, I'm not really worried about them. And that's not to say that I'm worried about the other group. I had a really great energy session recently, and I was very casually but also very firmly reminded that all journeys are completely divine, and they are not judging, and it's not about that.
Why don't you explain to me about your energy session? I want to hear about it.
Oh, we'll touch on that for sure. We'll touch on that.
All right.
Remind me. But I do want to speak to the group of people who are, per se, like, making a choice, be it conscious or subconscious, to remain and to not uproot or whatever. Having a resistance, you're totally allowed to have it. It's valid, it's real. If that's your journey, and it's divine, as I just said. In fact, the guides often like to tell us that judgment is a complete waste of energy, because at the end of the day, the universe is still learning, and every journey is valid for it, right? However, go ahead. However, there is something to be said that what you resist persists. So if you find yourself to be in the group that doesn't really want to change it up, just take this episode and maybe just keep it in your heart, because what you resist will persist, and it's up to you to choose to flow with the change or to flow against it, I guess.
Yeah, I can agree with that to a point, though, because if you choose to be in a lower frequency, you're going to be in that lower frequency until you get yourself out of it. That's just the rule. Until you had enough is enough. Funny, I'll just show you this. I have this beautiful set of oracle cards called the Witch's Oracle. No, what is it called?
Yeah, Witch's Oracle, I thought.
Oh, the season of the witch. And for the Lionsgate, this is the part that was really tripping me out. I got the broom, which is cleaning house. Hell yeah. Number 8.
Oh my God.
It's the 8th card in the deck. Wow. It's saying the same thing, you know. Well, get your broom, clean, figure out what you want. Make your house the way you want to make your house. In other words, the soul of the temple. How you want it to be. This is what it's all about right now. You better get into that train because it's going to be a great freaking ride.
And you're getting pushed in anyway, so you
Hell
might
yeah.
as well.
You want to be first class, middle class, or you just want to be in the caboose? Is it the caboose the end?
No idea, probably. That sounds right.
I'm always confused with trains because whenever I got on the train, I went straight into the lounge and had myself a glass of wine and a cigarette. But this was when I wasn't living in the U.S.
I have no idea.
You can't do that here. Imagine me going into the Amtrak and sitting in the lounge and smoking a cigarette.
No, could never.
I'd go viral.
You would, because it's like, wow, this guy,
Man,
is he a time traveler?
I know. Man, some overalls talking transatlantic English. Smoking a cigarette and upset why he can't get wine from the lady in the counter. He doesn't understand. He asked for a Shasta.
You know, it's funny.
What?
You, were just talking about the group of people who refuse to move forward, and I feel like that guy.
That's what it is. That's one of those people. What do you mean? I can't smoke here. There's nothing wrong with smoking. So what? She's pregnant. It don't matter. She's not gonna die. Nothing happens when you smoke next to a pregnant woman. You know? And then you get those other people who are just like, the hopers. Do I say something? God, what do I do?
He's just smoking in here, and I just...
Should I call somebody? I'm scared. Oh, God. I'm just going to sit down and say nothing. But it's going to cross my mind. And then you got the other people who are, saying, you can't do that, sir.
Already calling someone.
I'm already calling the 3 digits. You know, 911. You stop it. You can't do. Look at her. She's coughing. The baby's coughing. We're all coughing. And I have asthma. Stop it. That's what's going to happen. That's an easy scenario to give it.
There we go. Boom! Analogy! You didn't even know you were making it.
Yeah, I know. How funny is that?
Okay, so love that. We talked lots about the Lionsgate. Let's talk about this new moon in Leo because, it's all very amazing that it is on the Lionsgate. Let's not forget that. But if it wasn't Lionsgate, we'd be talking about a new moon in Leo. And what does that really mean? A lunar cycle in Leo.
The lunar cycle in Leo. New moon, a new beginning, fresh start. Find out what excites you. Find out what brings out the inner child.
Ooh, love her.
If you were loved drawing, spend some time and draw on the side, or play video games, spend some time and play a little video game, a little Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I never got in that
Love
game.
it so much. I actually have my Switch with me.
Really?
I'll show it.
Mine's right back there, just adorable. Hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm playing, I don't even know what I'm playing. Zelda.
Zelda. I've heard it's good. I'm a Pokemon and Animal Crossing chick. I just go back and forth. Oh, that's hard. Jigglypuff?
Okay.
I just love how ridiculous it is. But wait, we're getting off track. Play video games. Do something for your inner child.
Video games. Do something for your inner child. Get artistic. Go dancing. Go to the beach. If that makes you happy, it makes you happy. It's basically, when the new moon is in Leo, it's time for you to make yourself feel like the star that you are. Okay? Oh, yeah, I gotta remember one thing. Tangent, let's rewind back to Lionsgate. Mm-hmm. Sirius is gonna be quite aligned right now.
Okay, how so?
You can see Sirius right now. Sirius is one of the brightest stars in the constellation. So during the Lionsgate, that's pretty much why the Lionsgate is called the Lionsgate, because you see the galaxy, the star of Sirius, which is, I think, word has it, or somewhere myth of history says it aligns with the Pyramid of Giza.
Interesting. That's kind of cool if it does. For
I don't know. Somebody correct me if you see this.
Yeah, seriously. We have not looked this up exactly. This is a legend.
Yeah.
But for those of you whom have curiosities or even full-blown belief in extraterrestrials, a great many actually live in the Sirian star system. And I'm already feeling the naysayers be like, well, why can't our satellites detect them? Well, there's something that happens when you vibrate at a higher frequency than other beings. There's a reason you can't see ghosts or demons, and most people can't. It's because they're...
most people can't?
Exactly. Their filters, I mean, I guess I don't see them, I feel them, but their filters, our filters aren't necessarily aligned. If we develop properly in utero and so on, our filters are actually going to bar us from a lot of that energy because it vibrates at such a lower frequency. For example, an addict or someone who's having an incredibly depressive and very dark time in their life is way more likely to be at a match to a frequency such as, you know, a malevolent ghost or even like a sad ghost or whatever. So most of you are never going to...
I can give you the name of the demon of addiction, but I refuse to say it because if you say its
Don't do
name, it brings it up.
Names are powerful. Don't spell with them if you don't want to. But what I'm trying to say is, for those of you saying, well, why can't we see them? They actually, as opposed to vibrating at lower frequencies than us, they vibrate so much higher that our equipment wouldn't be able to detect it. We wouldn't be able to detect them. But I have personal experience with those beings. They're very incredible, and they're kind of guiding us a lot of the time. So check out Sirius now that it's so visible, and send a prayer up there because they're really helping us out, holding that new energetic grid for us.
And for those who believe in star seeds,
oh yeah,
when Sirius comes around, the star seed blossoms. So if you think you're a star seed, you might blossom. I'm not saying you're gonna grow like green skin or something, but like, imagine.
Wait, really? I'm a crystal child.
Huh?
I'm a crystal child.
What's a crystal child?
A star seed.
That's what you guys call them?
Well, they're said to... Okay, this is interesting. This is going here. So, they're said to have been waves of new souls after the light workers that were around for... Or rather, after World War II, there was kind of an overwhelming collective prayer for light. And then we kind of had a lot of light workers be born into the boomer generation. And then those light workers fathered and mothered essentially the indigo children, which were like kind of like the...
Or adults.
They're adults now, like older than me. The indigo children, they're in the 80s. I think you're probably one of them.
I was told that was Lumerian.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's a combo for a different time. But yeah.
That's what I was told. I was Lumerian.
Indigo children, right? My brother's one. You guys kind of like... You were known for your tempers. You were known for sort of like breaking up shit because honestly we had a system that needed breaking. So you started this breaking process, right? So that's kind of like 70s, 80s, and then in the 90s, particularly in the mid-90s to 2000s, we started to have the wave of the crystal children. Now, I was kind of an early crystal child.
Oh, that's right. And now I remember I heard about you guys with the rainbow auras.
So we have like, supposedly, like, these names come from the sense that the indigo children tend to have a predominantly blue auric field, meaning they came here to use their throats and break shit up.
Favorite color.
That makes sense. So then the crystal children, we have more of like an opalescent sort of aura, whereas, and then you have the third wave coming in, like, you know, the 2000s and on now, and you have the rainbow children, and they emit full on rainbow light. Like, you know, if I were to stand next to a rainbow child, my aura, it's like patches of rainbow, you know, whereas for them it's just like, woo, full spectrum.
And you got me, the indigo, the grumpy bear, like. So what? You got a fucking rainbow?
I thank you for your temper.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about fucking rainbow bright? Ooh, get on your horse and run away in that rainbow of yours.
And then the kid, this is the kid that just, you know, whatever they're playing with, they just go, and you're like, what? What?
What?
What just happened?
What happened? Why do I feel so happy?
Right.
It's disgusting. What is this shit? Empathy? Ugh. Compassion? What is this? Oh my God. Oh.
So starseeds. But no, really, like, this is true. Like, the indigo children came here to be pissed about the world that they had to be pissed about, because if nobody was pissed about it, it was never going to change. And then you had the crystal children come in being like, let's create something a little bit more cooperative while still sort of retaining the indigo temper and fire and willingness to, like, speak out and, you know, not be happy about shit until shit changes. And then you have the rainbow children that are honestly here to just kind of, like, create some new shit, but also, like, stand their ground on their own. And I think of a rainbow child as everybody has the potential to do this.
Don't say millennial.
No, but a rainbow child. I am one. I don't know what you have against us. Go away. No, I joke. We have a lot going on.
Are you gonna comment and say you were unvalidated?
I mean,
just kidding. Clearly, he doesn't understand me.
But, like, I guess I picture the little kid in the sun card, and I kind of picture this, you know, I picture this energy that wherever they step, the grass grows and flowers bloom. Yeah. And so starseeds with Sirius being so visible, if you really identify with these identifications of souls, maybe you're a starseed. Maybe you should be looking up to Sirius and asking for some information.
Yeah, beam in. I do believe in that kind of beaming in and all that, because I talk to mine like that, and sometimes I get my messages, hence the bing earlier when, you know, my higher power, she said, hey.
Right, confirming something you said.
Look at this pretty sun.
There we go. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, this is what our sun card looks like.
Yep.
I hope there isn't a glare. I can't quite tell if it looks great, but
it might be glossy, the cards.
It's fine. But yeah, basically we've got, you know, father, son, you've got the baby on the horse like we talk about, and you've got blooms, like you've got literal fruits and it looks like hibiscus flowers here, growing. Yeah. So that means there's life, right? There's life around. So even if you don't per se know what a starseed is or identify with the starseed thing, this is your chance to be that beam of light. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Lionsgate will awaken that. So some people might not like it and go back to the materialistic lifestyle, which is the lower frequency. Everyone's going to get that upgrade. It is going to be an upgrade. Okay, it's last year's wasn't an upgrade. This year apparently is going to be the upgrade because of everything that's going on, all the energies, and you got the 88 with the new moon, which is
in Leo,
which is the 8th month. And then if you add up the year 8/8/2021, totals the 3, which represents the Trinity, which is a connection with whoever, like the 3 in 1, every Holy Trinity, whoever your higher power is. Like mine is a Trinity, Hecate. It's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. It's the 3 in 1. You know, it's a good time to connect with who you feel is source for you and ask, because right now you got the Holy Trinity number going. So that's why I said it's the time to manifest now. Plant your seeds. Plant. Make that garden of spiritual wishes, or collect that spiritual trade. Ya healing hooker.
Amen to that. So, is there anything else you want to say about this new moon in Leo, Lionsgate? Because as promised, I will circle to my energy reading because I feel we've got some pertinent information here.
Listen sometimes to the voice of reason, because you have these two opposing signs right now. You know that are there's a lot in both in Aquarius. There's a lot of Aquarius energy and there's a lot of Leo energy right now. So you're gonna see both sides of the spectrum However, I do feel if you want to open up a business or start something new, just plan it out and don't go full in until after August. That's what I feel.
Okay. Why is that?
I think it's just there's going to be too many cooks in the kitchen right now.
Got it.
You know, you got Leah going, I want to do it this way. And then Aquarius is just like, okay, look. Because it's in Saturn and then it's in Jupiter. And you know how Jupiter makes the laws and Saturn enforces them.
Okay. I do remember you mentioning this.
Yeah. And they're both retrograding. So they're going backwards.
Right.
So it's kind of like, remember when we had that idea of like not drinking tea in my mother's china while we were mopping the house? Yeah, I think we should go back to that rule. And then Saturn's like, look, listen to me. No fucking shit. I've been telling you, I don't know why you wanted to remove it, but you went ahead and decided to break more dishes while the floor is slippery. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're right. Okay, Saturn, I think you're right, Saturn. Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah. That's what it basically is. Okay. When they're retrograding. But together. Then sometimes Saturn might go, you know what? Do it. Fucking do it again. So I can point the finger and say, I told you fucking so. So you might get that too. So it really... So
maybe just wait till after August.
Wait till after, because you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to open up a candle company and I'm going to make candles. And I'm going to add these scents. Like, it's going to smell like coming. I mean, cumin. Cumin. It's gonna smell like. What would coming smell like?
I had the same thought. I don't know. Anyone don't know?
See, this is where Saturn's like. Where in your? How? Jupiter. Where have you been? Coming?
What a scent for a candle.
Yeah, for a candle?
What if it was a scent that induced
orgasms? Okay. All right.
Wow, we're getting so off track.
Yeah. You know, but it's one of those where your Leo's going to be like, I got these great ideas. And then Aquarius is going to be like, and then you got to be like, oh, okay. So you're going to go both ends in it. So right now is the time for you to just manifest it, plant the seeds, make your list, prepare, and then continue for later. Because there's too much retrogrades going on. There's too much this. And the world is still in panic. And the world is still in chaos. Yeah. There's that goddess of chaos, too, who's like, she's around right now. Eris.
Oh, Iris?
Not Iris. Eris.
Eris? Oh, yeah. I don't know her.
But it's
I mean, I feel
in
like
hindsight,
I know her, but I don't.
she also can represent a good chaos, kind of like what Shiva is, will destroy the world with chaos, but then cleanse and remake a new one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those, like, just make your plan.
Just put it out there.
Put it out there. Do what you need to do. Like, make the first step to open that door and say, okay, here are my options. All right, this is what I want. Let's make that plan and go with it.
And don't be too attached to how that thing you asked for comes to you. I feel like that's just manifestation 101. But, like, definitely when working with such huge energies, like, think about this. Like, your source, you're part of Goddess, God, right? But you're still one fractal of it. And thinking, if you're the whole... Okay, think about this. If you have kids or ever worked with kids and they really want to go outside, but they don't understand that they have to put shorts on to go outside, right? Wait,
kids put shorts on to go outside?
Oh my God, stop. Okay, but like, you know, out and about, it's not okay.
I had a potato sack.
Dear.
I'm just kidding.
He's like, my last episode, he's like, my family's doing spells, and now he's wearing a potato sack. Okay.
We were earthy. I mean, potato sacks were made from potatoes, which grow from the earth.
Oh my God. To my metaphor, right? Children know what they want, but they don't necessarily know the steps that it'll take to get there, especially the tiny ones. And it's up to us as the, caregivers to make that happen, to, ensure that they get their diaper on so that they don't have to worry about peeing themselves when they're out on a walk or whatever, Even if the child is going through that phase where they don't want to put on a fucking diaper, but they're not potty trained yet, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. Now, as that child's universe, you can force it upon them, or, you can give yourself plenty of time to get it done in a way that's not super traumatic. That's kind of the same thing with, like, if you have this huge attachment to how your manifestation is going to come to you, you're going to be like the crying child who's fighting against the adult who wants to put their diaper on right then and there. And it's not going to, you're going to get what you want eventually, but it's not necessarily going to feel like this free-flowing co-creation. Yeah. Whereas, if you put it out there, right, and sort of give yourself options for how it can happen, like this is a real life example. I'm a nanny. I don't try to put her diaper on 5 minutes before we're supposed to leave. I start that suggestion of switching diapers 30 minutes before we're supposed to leave, so that I give her, if she is not into it at that moment, she has plenty of time to come around to the idea of getting on a diaper. And at some point, inevitably what happens is she hears something outside, goes, I want to go see that, and I go, you got to put on a diaper then, and then she sits down and is ready to put on a diaper.
There
you go. But then that's kind of like what happens when you just manifest without without that attachment to a specific way that manifestation is going to come into place and into being into your life. You're like the adult giving ample time to let that the universe put things together in a way that works for you, and honestly in a way that's probably gonna blow your fucking mind.
Let it go. Set your intention let it go. Yep. Never set your intention on self-will. And you just do everything you can, as much as you can do, and then just turn it all over and be like, poof, and then just keep going with your day.
Oh my God. This is such a great segue.
What?
Into my reading.
Which reading?
The one that I told you about, the energy session.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Are we ready to start talking about that?
Let's talk about that. I want to hear about it.
Okay. So this is actually really crazy because it's really going to tie into this episode in the sense of we're talking about tuning in, right? Like beaming into Sirius, tuning into these literal molecular upgrades that we're getting from the Lionsgate energy. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when matter from planets, i.e. neutrinos, and planetary bodies hit our auric fields, our physical bodies, they imprint us and change us. And so this upgrade Adyr is talking about is a massive upload of neutrinos and all kinds of things from these planets that are in their particular alignments right now. Right? And it's going to happen to you regardless, but if you tune in, you're going to facilitate that transition. So if you're really tired right now and you don't understand why, it's probably because your body's going through a lot on a very basic molecular level. And that is
a fact. A lot of people right now are going to be feeling that.
And burnt out.
And that's going to, even after the Lionsgate, it's going to be going on. I would say probably mid-September to mid-October, the energy, you will feel a lot more energized.
But by then it'll still be fall, so it'll still be time to like pull back a little and start pacing yourself or thinking about pacing yourself. But as far as tuning in, I got some really great information about tuning in.
Oh, what'd you say? I want to hear all about it. I got my tea.
Yes, he's got his tea. So first of all, I do want to shout out Shauna Pugh, whom did this reading, I call it a reading, but it's a reading / energy session. Sometimes I've gotten a session from her before, and last time it was a lot more of her working on my energy, and this time it was kind of half information dump, half her working on my energy. And
wait, like information dump, you just
like she channels the guides, whatever guides she calls in that moment, she'll channel the guides, and there was just a lot of information giving in this particular session. And so what Shauna chose to do, I had told her, hey, I want to come in and do a session around my throat chakra. I just feel like I'm wanting to find my voice, and I feel like even though I have an open chakra, I feel like it's not, I had this feeling that it was a little bit off in some way, or I could be more authentic. And so that was the intention that we went in with, throat chakra. And the funny thing, so Shauna goes, okay, well, she had the intuition, I'm going to call upon my particular spirit guides to take the lead on this, which love that. I love it. I love having other people's guides it's almost like cosmically getting an objective perspective, because even though your guides have an objective perspective, they're still attached to you in the way that they can be attached, which is not very much. Like if you're a spirit guide, and your human body, and your embodied soul that you're guiding, if something happens to them, it's not like you're like, oh my god, they're not human. It's not like that.
I would sometimes imagine me being a spirit guide to somebody who's just so aloof and doesn't fucking get it. I would drive myself nuts. I'd be like, you little shit. That's
probably why you're embodied.
I really hope you just die so I can have somebody else who's worthy of my advice. I'd be whispering in his ear, just put your tongue on that socket.
Oh my god.
It's okay. Ajax is good powdered sugar.
This is why. This is why Adyr's in a body and not being a guide, okay, friends? But real talk, if Adyr was a guide, like, he honestly probably wouldn't have much attachment to whether that person used their free will to ask for his help or not, and just like your guides don't necessarily have human like stakes into whether you say live or die, but like if you die without having learned like some valuable lesson, they'll probably be like, oh fuck.
Well, I'm not getting that heavenly promotion I wanted. I failed again. Fuck. Look, the next person, please don't give me a junkie.
And then the council goes, nope, you're stuck with that person until they figure that out. And you're like, well, okay. But like, okay, so getting someone else's guides to lead the way was kind of a cool experience that I don't think I've ever fully had before. Like before, it's always been opening up the Akasha or, getting my guides to lead it. So Shauna's guides had a lot of really cool info, and she started, and I'll kind of go through the session here, but this is something, like, if you don't get anything from this episode, you'll get a lot of the astrological information, but like, if you don't get anything practical, quote, from this episode, let it be this.
You will.
You will. But let it be this, okay?
I'm your digital guide. You will listen, and you will get something from this.
He spoke it, and so it is.
As above, so below.
So they told me that you, me, right, or whomever you listening, in order to tune in and get what they like to call your own information, because at the end of the day, information that might really...
you get your own information.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So they told me that Shauna was working on my pineal gland, and as she was working on my pineal gland, I'm referring to, the collective of guides that she was working with, as they were having her explain to me what she was doing. And she was essentially saying how she was pulsing energy into my pineal gland and sort of envisioning it as just this really soft and like nimble, receptive point in my body. And they were saying that when you do that, right, and your pineal gland is right where your third eye is, friends. It's between your eyebrows, right, on that brow bone, like at the top of your nose,
like
before the bridge. If you
cross your eyes and look up,
yep,
right there.
Right there, like between your eyebrows. So focusing on that point and sort of like pulsing energy with your breath, right, breathing in and out and imagining that energy sort of pulsing. You do what they were saying is attuning to your own information. Because it's one thing to get information in general, right? There's universal information. For example, the Lion's Gate is going to shift all of us on a molecular level. That's universal information in the sense that this information literally
If you
affects.
want it.
If you want, but even if you don't,
it's gonna come.
It's still
in some
going
weird
to
way.
come in its own way because you opted into it by being alive at this time. If you didn't actually truly want it, at your core, you would have found a way to die by now. So it's going to happen regardless. That's universal knowledge. It's going to happen to all of us.
Yeah.
However, to what degree is personal. And that's what they mean in the sense of by pulsing into your own pineal gland and creating that focus of energy on your own and then asking for information, you're actually going to be attuning yourself to information that is completely pertinent to you.
Okay.
And chances are when you get something that's universal, it'll kind of be known, it'll be, you'll have a feeling of okay, I might not be the only one. Or the universe is going to show you signs. People are going to come and talk to you about their experience. And you're going to be oh, wow, going through this too. Interesting, I was told this. But there's going to be a lot of information that's just for you. And you get that by tuning in with your pineal gland that way. And it's as easy as, maybe placing your hands gently over your third eye. Or if you don't want to place your hands there, just focusing the energy on your third eye and using those inhales and exhales deeply in order to pulse that energy.
I tap mine.
That's
and
also...
then when I meditate, I tell them, or when I even do a reading, I close my eyes and I say, open your third eye.
Yeah.
And I picture an eye going...
Love that. So that's your own Adyr way of tuning into your pineal gland.
Yep.
Right? So that's what they started with, and that was really interesting. And then the kicker is the session developed into this load of information that informed me that the block, it wasn't, actually in my throat as much as it was in the bridge that connects my heart to my throat.
The green aura.
Yeah. And now I feel like I should mention this too, because that's kind of the sum up of it all. But to understand a little bit better, the energy is meant to go from your root chakra, right from the bottom, flow all the way upward through your crown, and then circle its way back around you and up again.
Wait a minute. Those are the 3 cards you showed me. For the energy thing, the channeling, right?
Maybe.
When you showed me the pictures of the 3 cards.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, you got some throat stuff. That's what it... Because it just came to me. Bing, 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 bing. Bleep, blop, bloop. I remember now.
Yeah. So, I pulled cards at the end of that reading, and I showed Adyr some of these cards. Yeah. Amazing cards, by the way. Cards. Literally beautiful cards. But, a lot of throat chakra stuff. A lot of... there's a whole card that was about alchemy, right?
Oh, my God. I just had a mind-blasting thing. The card that resonated with me right now from that spread you showed me was the 3-in-1, the 3 ladies.
Yeah, the ladies on the raft with the baby.
I called them Hecate because it had a crone, a mother, and a maiden on it. Hello, 3.
Yeah, the Trinity. Well, and the baby facing the bright rainbow sun situation. There's the baby facing the bright rainbow sun on that card.
It's your time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Look at that. So, okay. Yeah.
No.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is information. If you're listening to this is for you, friends. So they told me tune into my pineal gland, and then when they went forth into telling me what was actually going on, they went as far as to explain the whole anatomy of the chakras in the sense that it's meant to go from your root and upwards and essentially around you and up again through that channel, right? Like when you see an electromagnetic field in a science book or an auric field in a spiritual book, they're one and the same. You see that sort of magnetic field, auric field flowing around a person, right? And through their center and up and down again. That's the natural flow of your energy. The thing that happens though, and you alluded to this in just now, and that's why I was like, this is a great segue, is you were talking about just doing what you can do and then releasing it, right? And that speaks to moving the energy up into your heart as opposed to just bouncing from your root to your solar plexus and to your root into your solar plexus and down again. And that's something that a lot of people, myself included, tend to do because your root is going, I need to be safe, I need to be safe. And then...
Well, the sacral is a survival mode.
Right, the sacral is going, yes, okay, that's good, we're going to go towards that. And then the solar plexus, the center of willpower, is going, okay, let's exert my will. Oh, you said something about not going from will, just going...
self-will.
Right, not going from self-will, right? And so the solar plexus is going to exert its will to try to feel safe again. But the thing is, that's just going to reinforce the lack of safety. And then you're going to shoot that energy back down through the root, and you're going to be going in this cycle. So what you're doing by attuning to your own information and by being willing to receive these upgrades, and like Adyr said, manifesting through just pure authenticity, is you're actually moving that energy up into your heart. And something that they said that really, really, really hit my soul is this idea of fire. Sorry. They literally said fire.
I'm being abused here, guys.
And they were like, your heart, the human heart chakra is the phoenix fire where things go to be born and to die and to be reborn again.
Yeah.
And when we're thinking of alchemy, and that was like the gold man in those 3 cards that I showed you, when we're thinking of alchemy and, we're thinking of, like, say someone spinning lead into gold, true alchemy happens in the human heart center when you spin those emotions of I'm scared and I can't live and I need to be safe and all of this, and you find it in yourself to step outside of that and go, but I can hold myself and I can be here.
It has to come from a place of love.
Totally.
And that's the strongest vibration that comes out of your body.
And when you consciously work with that heart energy, what happens? The channel between your heart and throat, there's nothing there to block it.
Yeah.
And I should mention that something that they made sure for me to be aware of is that we've highly misinterpreted the throat chakra as a collective. The humans, us, have, in the sense that...
I want to hear this.
So when we think of an open throat chakra, we think of a person who just speaks, right?
Yeah.
When in truth, and this is a great analogy they gave me, is a chihuahua who continues to yap because it's scared having an effect?
Oh.
Are they having impact? Is that a balanced way of using their voice?
Oh. Well, I was told I have a strong throat chakra.
Well,
and
you
a strong
do.
heart chakra.
You do.
They said those two are really
But
strong.
you're also, Adyr, you're one of those people that have learned when to stop speaking. And you've learned when to not speak. And you've learned when to speak.
No, I haven't. How dare you?
I
talk all the time. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you do, but I've never seen you interject yourself in a situation where you're like, my words are going to be wasted. And we think
Very true.
And we think of people that just speak as having this beautiful open throat chakra where it's like, it might be open, but is it balanced?
Oh, so it's like one of those people that's like, yeah, I got a nice car. I got a Volkswagen Tesla. It's from Germany.
I mean,
made in
that's a version.
Wakanda.
Oh my god, I love that. It's vibranium. It's vibranium, friends. I mean, that's a version, but also a version is that person who says shit just to rile people up.
Yeah.
That might be an open throat chakra, but chances are that person's heart has a lot of fear and doubt and sadness probably and anger in it if they're saying things just to get people riled up. So they made this very clear to me that it's like your throat chakra, the reason that your heart needs to be in alignment in order for that energy to flow up authentically and for the things to come out to feel right and of you, right? Not of your self-will, but of you, with that capital Y. It's because when the heart has learned compassion and it can learn to alchemize those really hard emotions that make us speak shit that we don't actually want to speak at the end of the day in our core, then you have a balanced throat chakra.
Yeah.
Not just an open one.
I just use the idea of listening. I listen and I just feel it out when I know when it's my turn to speak, or as odd as that sounds, because we're just like, but this is like, we're having fun. This is fun. I love doing this. In reality, in like the real world, when I'm in, I would listen to conversations, and I would know when to speak and not. I think you got that right about me, which is kind of cool.
Well, and that just means that but that's the thing. It's like your heart is very much in alignment, and therefore you're not ever going to be in danger. And it's not like it's dangerous, but like you're never going to be in a position where you're just going to speak to be heard. And
unless I'm on stage.
That's different.
That's
like this right here. Like, and first of all, you wouldn't have agreed to do this podcast if I was somebody that made you feel like you should listen and not really say much, right?
I'd still do it.
I mean, I'm sure.
For the experience, I sit there go, oh.
But you wouldn't be that person who would just...
Wow.
Exactly. You would still do it and you would listen. So funny enough, right? Part of a balanced throat chakra is listening.
Yeah.
Right. Is listening. So that was essentially like my energy session in a nutshell. And I feel that it's important to put this information out here because as we tune in to our own information and we think about manifesting, which is, that's the realm of the throat. Yep. Everything in our bodies are working towards outward manifestation. Yeah. And what does that tends to happen when we speak shit into reality, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we were, before we came to this planet, we are powerful beings that decided to play this role. So we can manifest. We still have that power in us. We have just forgotten through that transition into this realm. And you, my fellow listeners, have an opportunity to get curious and tap into it.
Yay! Okay.
Hell yeah.
It's time. It's time for the collective reading.
Oh, collectives.
Collective
Yay.
reading.
Collective readings. Yay.
Yay. Thank you so much for coming to this part of the episode. This is honestly my favorite part of the episode. And let's get to it. You know what the Lionsgate's about.
The Lionsgate bring us?
So hold on. We know what keep shuffling. We know what the Lionsgate is about. We know what the new moon in Leo is about. We know how to tune in to all of this energy, not just in a universal way, but in our own individual way where we're going to get our own information. We know that in order to speak our truth, we need our hearts. So how do we get into our hearts during this Lionsgate and make the most of it?
How do we tap into our hearts for the Lionsgate?
Yes.
I can answer that without the cards, but let's see what the cards will say.
But let's see.
Spirit, let's find out. All right. Oh, there we go.
Cards are flying out.
Said.
Holy shit.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see.
How fun is this?
This is fun. Okay. Did the sun pop out?
Celebrate your pain. You have... typically... This is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands means celebration, marriage, anything victorious, happy. It's what you do when you're celebrating. Look at these ladies. They're like, I'm done washing laundry. I'm ready to just have my glass of wine and be with those people there that are dancing because it's my fucking break. Okay? Then you have the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords, that can scare people a lot. It is a scary card because...
It's a scary card. It's what is it, like a person being stabbed with
10 swords.
Like dead?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. What people don't realize about the Ten of Swords is the worst is over.
Mm-hmm. It is the completion number.
Yeah.
10.
It's 10. This guy's alive. He's like, shit, I got 10 swords on me. This really hurts. And look.
Most casual
I
way
know.
to describe this card ever.
Behind him, there's a sun. The sky's clean and clear. He's not looking at it. He should be, but you can't because you got 10 swords on you. However, you got this dog that's like, hey, what do you need? What do you want me to do? And he's like, go get help. Boom. The worst is over. Help is on its way. So you have these two combos right over here. Okay. How funny is this? 4 and a 10.
Celebrate
4
your
and 10
pain.
adds to 15. No, 14. There's my fucking math. And then adds up to 5. 5. Balance. It's right in the middle.
Also change, though.
Change. But it's basically saying embrace your pain. Be okay with it. This time around, it's good. There's going to be... Oh, let me get something. Let me get an oracle card really quick.
Yes.
Let me see what the witches have to say.
Let's see what they have to say. It's a new Motherland tonight. We're filming this
I
on
already
Wednesday.
saw it.
Oh, don't tell me. I have to wait for Nate.
You have to what?
Wait for Nate.
Oh, here we go.
That card popped out.
Oh my
2 cards popped out.
God.
Oh, the
Okay.
broom again.
No, you got...
Okay.
Okay, my body's saying pumpkin, but I'll pull out 2 since the 2 came out.
Yeah.
All right, you got the pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
The pumpkin represents the sacral chakra. How funny is that? It represents fertility. It represents rebirth. It represents sex. It represents new things to come. And what does she say? Uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. Oh, look at that. I guessed right. To taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish every day that comes. Hell yeah. What is she saying? What is she saying? Uncaged spirit and the taste of its velvet flavor.
She says, I got the juice,
Yeah,
and
I
the
got
juice
a
is
juice.
scrumptious.
This is my house stained with the very blood flowing through the walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayer, yet deadly to those who dare to lift the hidden. Basically, you got another 4 of wands and a 10 of swords. Yeah, basically what's going to happen is you're going to have to embrace what is pain and find love, which the universe is saying at the bottom of the deck right fucking away. Love, balance, self-love, duality. It can also represent a crossroad. Now, if you're one that's like not into love or not dating anyone or just want to worry about your life, your career, what's going on, this could actually mean being okay with a change that could be a loss and entering a crossroad that can be for the better, because right after that you have the Knight of Coins, which is a great card to have, which is a message of a new opportunity. So, if you're trying to manifest, you'll be good.
Celebrate your pain.
Celebrate it. Let go of any baggage. You can't really let go of baggage. Organize your fucking baggage. And love it. Because that's who you are and that's who you become. And once you shine in that, your manifestation will make its path clear for love. Not in an actual love sense, but if you are looking for that, maybe. And great opportunities to come in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because what is celebrating your pain if not using that heart center to alchemize those really difficult emotions into freaking compassion and love and creative fire? And what just fell out?
Hello, ding. See that right when I picked it up, the phone dinged. 8 of Wands. Hell yeah.
Manifestation. 8. Another 8.
Another 8.
Wands equate to fire.
Manifestation. Check this out. Half of 8 is what? 4. 4. But what's in between these two?
The 10.
So you have this idea. Okay, this is what I want to plan out. There could be work. There could be pain. There could be things I got to deal with. Take action. The messages will come. Boom.
Friends, if you're listening to this, I highly suggest popping over onto YouTube and going towards the end of the episode so you can actually see these cards that we're talking about. Yeah.
I just got them. They're really pretty. They're very Renaissance.
They're gorgeous. It's a very cool...
Yeah,
what is
it's
that?
full
Brocade?
trim.
It's like brocade. What is this? What is this pattern? I don't even know. Anyways.
I don't know.
It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty neat.
It's cute. But it's going to be, for those who are wanting to do the work, an enjoyable pain. An enjoyable pain. If you're willing to do the shadow work, this is going to be the perfect time for you to do shadow work. For people who are looking for work, go in without fear. Don't what if too much. If you're looking for love, you're going to have to deal with the pain that you've had from past relationships that you have not let go. If you want to manifest, it's going to be work. Okay, you can't just sit there and go, oh, well, I would love to have a baking business and then wait for it to happen. No, bitch, it's just like, what do you got to do? I got to look for an area. I got to find out what this is, the cost. How much do I got to make? How much is the equipment?
I mean, start with a kitchen.
Where's my money? Yeah. It's going to be a painful process. But the worst is over because guess what? You're making your list. You're checking your boxes. You're pulling each sword. Boom. I have the money. Boom. I have someone who's willing to support. Boom. I found the perfect shop. Boom. You know?
But you got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do the work.
You got to do the work.
And if you are curious as to how you can do the work, but more on an individual level, I suppose, you are more than welcome to check out the description of this podcast via either the listening platforms or YouTube. And Adyr's info is going to be on there if you want to shoot him an email and get a reading. I highly suggest that.
I have my new link. I'm getting digital, guys. I'm no longer using quill and parchment.
Except for when he manifests.
Yeah. Except when I manifest.
Then it's allowed. But yes, we'll have the links provided for Adyr. If you'd like him as a resource, I highly suggest that you do use him as a resource. I can also link Shauna's info down below. If the energy reading session sounded like a really interesting thing to you, I highly suggest checking her out.
I'm going to try that out.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
I'll link her IG down below, and I'll link her like work email or whatever down below. However you're able to book a session. Yeah. And happy Lionsgate. Happy New Moon
happy
in
Lionsgate.
Leo. Let's grow, friends. Let's keep on going. 'Tis the season of the witch.
That's your card. I thought of you real quick and I pulled out a card.
Okay, so here's my card. Ready? It's Voices, number 42.
Which is 6.
With a tug at the gut, feel them romance your very breath. Listen to the gentle flickering within your eyes, for this is where they guide. Okay, so literally, we're just talking about that personal information, that personal tuning in. Where's the information you need, friends? It's actually inside you. I know that, every spiritual teacher, every leader of spirituality says this crap, but like for once, really, truly, it's actually inside you. Like Adyr and I, we can give you guidance. We can give you, this is what this energy means. This is what this number could say. But at the end of the day, you're the only person who knows exactly how that hits you personally.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, you can always hit me up and I can help you out on my site.
Yeah.
Message me. I'll be like, okay, I'll tell you what to do.
Yeah,
and it's not made in China. It's some good, deep shit.
Yeah. And you're always more than welcome to message me on Instagram as well if you have any questions about this podcast, any suggestions for future episodes, or maybe some astrological fun stuff you might want Adyr to talk more about.
Hell yeah.
And of course, you'll get to see him or hear him or both next lunar cycle for sure. Thank you, Adyr.
Next one's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Want to give us a little preview?
Hell no.
Okay.
I'll leave it up to the next episode.
Strap in. Thank you.
Mwah!
Till the next one. Stay mystical. Stay grounded.
Just stay.
Just stay.